Oh, he transported them. Honestly, it could be worse. He could have dropped them on the top of the mountain, but no floor there. Yo, you're so problematic that he just sent you into the middle of bump nowhere. This kid's mentality is, man, we got someone watching above, let's go fight them above. Casually goes out of his way to fight God's servant. The funniest thing about 7th Prince returning after a decent little wait there is, remembering all the comments I used to see when covering Season 1 about how it was the most problematic isekai. It's not an isekai, it's just a straight up reincarnation story, but most problematic isekai in recent memory. And while I definitely agree Lloyd's character design could use some longer pants, I think I speak for a lot of people when we say we watch this show because it's just honestly kind of funny and it has a ridiculously good production value for a very fun magic system. So yeah, I'm here for more problematic isekai. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, share your support, subscribe if you're new around here, and Patreon's where those full live reactions and exclusives live. So, Season 2's here, or Episode 13, and to be honest, you can say what you will about this show, but how many of these reincarnation stories kickstart its second season with the main character throwing hands with God's right-hand man? And I say, wait, did I skip an episode? Is there an OVA I was supposed to watch? And then we learn, okay, no, we're gonna rewind now. So Lloyd got kicked out of the church once, which, to be fair, our partner in crime is a demon. Makes sense. But just to see what he caused, and understanding why he got kicked out, makes total sense, right? But here's the thing. Within a day of being accepted back in the church, this little bastard is like sitting in a choir. His sister's doing this magical song. It's beautiful. It's majestic. And he said, huh, someone's watching above. Let's go fight them. Within a day of being accepted back in the church, because we know our boy, that there's one thing he cares about, it's magic. So, okay, let's learn some holy magic. And within a single day, he's like, I'm gonna go fight the man upstairs. You see, this show is problematic, but not really for the reasons people rant about. Like, don't get twisted, sometimes they'll put their camera up close and I'm like, did we really need to see this little boy's thighs like that? No, we don't need that. But the real problematic things that are constantly here is the fact that this man's a goddamn demon. And they always are like, oh, he's so cute, oh shucks, no, like, he's actually a demon. And honestly, man, if you remember how the last season ended, was it 4 episodes, 5 episodes of just pure non-stop throwing hands at this man, I'm pretty sure at one point he was throwing giant spheres of magic. Like, the show at so many points I could look at monkey brain energy and I just loved it. Like, the way they detailed magic is still among some of the best I've seen in recent memory. It's just so beautiful, and I think you can actually look at what is essentially the action scene of this week, which was the performance of his sister. So his sister, hyperfixation gremlin, basically. Mao Mao's no longer around, so we needed a new one. And essentially she's like, if it's instruments and music, she's interested, otherwise she doesn't care. The only reason she remembers Lloyd's name after 3 guesses is because it relates to her music. So she puts on this big song and dance here, and I love what they did visually. So the way you can weave, you know, your magic into like these threads of musical sheets, right? And the way the characters are kind of getting, like, the way I interpret it is for them sitting there, they probably do have a sense of visuals and they're seeing some cool things, but for us as the viewer, we're seeing so much more because obviously we're not being, you know, affected by this magical performance the same way the characters are. So it's just such a great way to get across the feeling they're getting with our visuals mixed also with what they see. And it was such a great performance. And yeah, there was technically action at the very beginning of the episode when we didn't know what the hell was going on, and if you're like me, thought you skipped an episode or something. To be honest, I really thought maybe I did skip an episode and there was like an episode 0 at first. I was like, what the hell am I watching? But the thing is the show feels like it didn't leave. It basically functions as if season 1 and 2, because they're produced at the same time, right? It just naturally transitions. If these were back-to-back 2 cores, this would absolutely function like an episode 13. But for a season 2 episode 1, yeah, it's a little different than what you often see, because a lot of times when seasons come back, they kind of, even if they have to give anime only stuff, they kind of like reintroduce you, but they don't do that. They just completely continue naturally. And I can appreciate that, right? It hasn't been that long. We don't need to just, like, always act like it's the starting point of a new chapter. No, like, just continue these dumb bastards' lives. And they did so. And, I mean, we had the Jade stuff, was that his name? You know, with his death and everything like that. We had a pretty big emotional moment at the end of Season 1. It naturally makes sense to do something a little simpler. And, I mean, it sounds weird because we are throwing hands with God's right-hand man and women or whatever the we're fighting up there. But yeah, like at the end of the day, we having some fun. And to be honest, the fact that the priest was like, no way in hell am I going to let this little bastard... Is that a pupper? Most human thing ever. And it's funny too, because when you see the flashback, right, when he like caused Armageddon in the church, the priest had a giant vase, I don't know, like this big. He had like 3 of them. He had one on his back, he was carrying 2. And I have to assume that's alcohol. This man, when the church was going to fall to ruin, his first thought wasn't to help the women and children. It was, I need my liquor. And the funny thing is, later in this episode, we see them hand out an entire bottle of wine to everyone. Like, I'm starting to wonder, is this really a church or is it a frat party, man? Because I got some questions. Fun return. I wouldn't say it's anything extraordinary. I wouldn't say, oh man, that you're going to come out of this, or like I came out of this thinking this is among the best of the show. No, but it did what I needed it to. It reminded me of the crazy bastard Lloyd. It, you know, it showed me a little bit of all the stuff we kind of had in Season 1, but also was doing some fun little things that I imagine that by the time we get to the 2nd, 3rd, maybe 4th episode of this season, we're going to get deeper into another cool arc. I mean, you ended the last season on arguably the best arc the show had. It's not going to come out of the gate swinging with the best arc right away, but overall, it was a thoroughly enjoyable episode. The production reminded me just as much as why I liked it to begin with, and overall, I'm excited for more. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's a twofold problem. On one hand, I'm not a huge fan of Lloyd's character design, mainly when they focus up close to his crotch. That's weird as hell. But him just generally existing in his short shorts, I'm like, I'm not going to sexualize the kid, right? It's weird. But when they are trying to, that's when it's weird. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of weird things in anime and a lot of weird problematic things in anime. If I would probably have 2 shows I could watch a season if I cut off every single thing that was sus as hell. Could go without the show debate for sure, but to be honest, I'm mostly here to see a kid who's Satan walking among the people with his problematic family, as we just have some of the most fun action I can imagine. So that's why I watch it. But hey, the Outrage always does bring some good viewership, so there is that. Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, and Patreon, full live reactions to all these episodes and other exclusives like, hey, I give a video shout out to all of my patrons. Alright, so today we got Ocean Liao, Corey M, Andreas Proz, Late Night Riddance, Alex, Corey Sama Fan, and we also have Powolf. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you'll have a good one.